normal. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Unbelievable. You know what's unbelievable about that is Gunnar Henderson looking at a billboard of Gunnar Henderson there, but you don't know this. I actually know.
I don't think. Yeah.
No, calm down. Calm down.
Mike's not.
Whatever you do, just calm down.
Yeah.
All right. There were 3 finalists to be on that giant billboard.
Okay.
At Camden Yards this year.
All right.
The 3 finalists were.
What's wrong with my headset?
I got you.
You're fine. Settle
Why?
down.
I can't hear anything.
No, you're good. You're
gonna
good.
be
You're good.
okay.
Tell Madonna that her headset doesn't work.
You know what? We will. We will. Because we're telling Prima Donna right now.
I got to get with Colson, have a meeting.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck. You know what? Forget it. I was going to do a bit. We're not going to do the bit.
Do you find, let me ask you a question.
I just give up.
Who are the other
We
3
started
finalists?
the
No.
It was you?
No.
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 Gunner.
But we
No, it's
start
over.
we start the show, you know how we start the show, right? With a question. I always come up with a question.
Since when?
It's the new feature.
When did you start that?
Today.
John told me to sharpen up the show a little.
Okay.
Do you find anything remotely attractive at all about Courtney Love?
Today?
That's today's question?
No, I don't think today I do. There was a time where I
Yeah,
think I
like
did,
because
yeah.
what? She didn't shower. Like what
Yes,
was there
yes,
about
that was
it?
the thing that I was super
Like in the
into.
days of whole, in the real days, Celebrity Scan, Malibu.
Yeah. Around
find something-
that time, she dolled herself up a little bit.
Yeah.
and I did. I found her, but she also had that like cool grunge, like in the early days of Hole, like in the Kurt Cobain.
She would
days.
shotgun a beer with you.
Yes.
Probably more than you.
Like she would chain smoke cigarettes.
Right.
Like there was something very cool about Courtney Love.
Okay.
I don't know that I was, overwhelmingly attracted to her, but I could see myself being like, I want to be.
What's wrong with her today?
I haven't seen. I couldn't
pull
tell
up a
you.
picture of
I
her.
could not tell you what Courtney Love looks like.
Oh, I think you know.
Today.
Pull it up. I think you know.
Why are we? Why?
I'm just asking you.
Why
It's
is
today's
that
question.
what's
It's
on
today's
your
question.
mind?
It's today's question.
Why is that?
It's today's question.
What about today made you say?
Oh, well,
you know
wait a
what I'm
minute.
thinking about?
Oh,
I'm thinking
oh,
about
no, there she
Courtney
is.
Love. Yeah. Is this what made you think about
mean,
it? Whatever this is.
We're all getting old.
Okay, yeah, that was.
Well, I mean, she's
Oh yeah, she's a fan of Geese now. That was a headline on the internet.
Oh, the music.
Yeah, they're not good. They are not good at music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's a fan of Geese now.
Yeah, it was
She's
like
had
yesterday.
She's had a
For
little
some
work
reason,
done there, but
the
it's
internet,
okay.
The internet.
So anyway.
why was Courtney Love on your mind?
I just went down the whole. No pun intended. I went down the whole rabbit hole here about a week ago.
That's what you got.
You know.
All right, Drew Forrester, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to see you. Happy opening day.
I'm
We'll
just
see
asking
you
you.
next week.
You get so offended
See you next. I don't get
by
offended.
these questions.
I'm confused. I'm confused by what goes on in your brain. I'm confused by how you get to this point.
I'm just asking you.
Like what?
Just asking.
Where does normally I know where a thought comes from? Like normally when I bring up something randomly, I can say, you know why I was thinking about that? I was thinking about that because blank, right? Like I can do the math to get to why it was that I was thinking about it.
I just saw somehow on YouTube. I saw this celebrity skin video, and I'm like, yeah, Courtney Love 25 years ago.
By the way, and in Drew's world, that's called new music. That's a recent find.
Not really.
Hey, old man, what have you been listening to recently? Well, I'm
Hole.
really into this. I don't know if you've heard this hip new band called Hole. I've been listening to a lot of them recently. You kids into the Hole?
That's what their band was called.
Hole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
band was
Don't
called
ask.
Okay.
Don't ask.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could. I think you
The
could
guitar
figure it
player
out.
was actually cute too, right?
They-
Beside
there we
what's
go.
her name?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't.
Thought
have
you
that
knew
for me.
music.
I do know. I went and saw Cameron Whitcomb last night.
Who's that?
There you go. That's my guy, Drew Forrester.
Country?
He's like that country rock thing.
Like Zach
that's-
Brown.
No, Zach again. Zach
What's
Brown.
that? Open that
Zach
up for
Brown's
me.
like old school kind.
Open that up for
You
me.
don't realize how quickly people are just old.
The Ratcliffe guy?
Nathaniel Rateliff.
Rateliff?
Is probably a little bit more folk rock than country.
Okay, so who's this guy like then?
This guy would be more
Get
like
to the point.
What's Tyler Childers? Maybe.
I don't know who that is.
All right, here.
Bo Bice is the last one of those guys.
I figured that was the guy. Actually, I think this guy might have been on American Idol at one point.
This is a Bo Bice.
I went with.
Sound alike.
It was a bit of a third wheel situation. I went with Jeremy and his wife, but I think she had a good time anyway.
Oh,
I think
okay,
she
yeah.
didn't mind really being the third wheel.
Okay.
I did make her.
Where was the show?
It was at the Fillmore
Oh.
in Silver Spring.
Damn. I'm glad you brought this up.
Oh.
We need some help.
Hey,
All right,
some
we're
help.
here.
We need between now and June 3rd.
yeah.
I need you
Huh.
to set up
Okay.
an interview
Uh-oh.
with the great Pete Yorn,
Where's he gonna be?
Ram's Head in Annapolis.
In Annapolis? Oh yeah. Well,
Let's get Pete Yorn on the show and
What do you think
a couple.
You think Pete Yorn's gonna? Pete
Oh.
Yorn, I don't think is gonna be the most engaging.
Pete, what are you talking about? He's a
Eh.
New Jersey kid.
Yeah.
Let's get Pete on the show and
I
get a
think
couple
he's
of ticks for your
right,
boy.
I
here.
understand.
Okay.
I think he's professionally indifferent, Pete Yorn.
Why
I
do you
think
say that?
he's-
You interviewed him before?
No, I've never interviewed him, but I've watched. Like, I think his purpose in life was to prove that he was cooler than
Really?
any.
I never got
situation
that.
he was in. Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's
got a little
interesting.
bit of that.
I got that from Adam Duritz.
I think Adam.
sure.
Did you watch the HBO documentary?
No.
You should watch it.
Okay.
You should watch it. I just think Adam Duritz has a lot of.
There's things going on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that
Okay.
he's.
Well,
I don't know that
anyway,
he's
June
purposely
3rd,
trying to
Pete
be-
Yorn. He's also at the Birchmere the next night. So if the promoter said, hey, I can't do Rams Head, I can do Birchmere,
Right.
I would do that too.
I'm glad. So what? Now, what are you offering to this?
I'm going to interview him
Right. It's like Barbara Walters.
on your show.
When I tell him, when I say, look, you can come on the show, but I know what would really get you interested is if you got to do a sit down with Drew Forrester.
The great Pete
And then
Yorn.
He would
Pete
say,
Yorn's awesome,
I'll
man.
be there. I'll be there.
Tell me a better album than Music for the Morning
It
After.
was very good. Nobody's arguing with that. It was
Right.
an outstanding album. All right. Well, it's good to see you.
You
What's
too.
on your
What's up?
mind other than Courtney Love? Anything else?
Just getting pumped up here. Big night tonight.
What's tonight?
Yanks going 1-0.
What are you, a fan now? You decided that's you're
All
gonna
I'm
be-
doing is here's what I'm doing. Every dollar I have to my name, I'm betting that Tyler O'Neill hits a home run on opening
Well,
day.
that's a smart bet. Then maybe don't bet that he plays another game.
Right.
You're-
But he is at a home run. I think he hit a home run like 5 years in a row on
It's
opening
insane.
day.
It's insane.
It's something stupid, right?
100%.
So I'm betting him.
I like we did our. I saw you.
I got Mariners over
You're
Dodgers.
bullish on the Mariners.
I am.
Interesting.
I believe in their pitching. I always believe in their pitching.
Okay.
The players hate each other. It's a really weird bit where
The Mariners players do?
you know,
Well,
remember
there's a
Cal
little
Raleigh,
bit of-
Randy
little bit of
Rosarena.
friction
Oh,
there.
well, that was
It's
that
a
was
bit
I think that was
uncomfortable.
wrestling.
I think the first part was wrestling. What Randy Rosarena said afterwards.
they were on different teams.
I
Yeah,
understand
but
that.
you think that was? I'm not saying this to stir the pot.
Yeah.
There's no way that was lost in the Spanish translation of sarcasm or no.
Is it?
I don't
is
know.
it possible? I can't
Right.
say definitively that it's not, but it definitely did not come off that way.
Well, that's how soft the whole world's become.
Yeah.
If Randy Rosarena is pissed off because the dude wouldn't shake his hand, get over it. We're playing as Cal Raleigh said, I'm playing for my country.
Doesn't he know how much you bet on him? Doesn't he know that?
I just
Got to know how much you bet.
I don't know what to say. Like we got a game here. It's like Bill Burr when he's talking about when they put all the cancer ads up during the World Series, and Bill Burr's like, "We got a game going on here. Like, what is going on?
doing?
What are we doing here?"
Yeah, how dare
Like-
we? How dare we support those fighting cancer in the middle of a baseball? There's a baseball.
Bill
game.
Burr's like, I don't go to a movie and stand up in the middle of the movie and go, "My aunt's got cancer."
It's a great point. I mean, he is right about that.
But
You don't
so
know
Cal
more
Raleigh
than
is saying to Randy Rosarena is the same thing. We got a game going on
And
here.
again, I don't. I
Like,
I thought it was.
I'm not shaking your hand.
I thought it was silly. Like I thought it was dumb.
Right.
Like really, Cal Raleigh, you couldn't just shake the guy's hand. Like really.
Oh, you think Cal Raleigh's at fault?
I think the whole thing is dumb.
Okay.
I don't care that he didn't. I think it's weird that he wouldn't just shake the. Like even if
We
he's
got
not,
a game going on. I'm not shaking
what
your
about
hand.
the guys that are chit-chatting at first base?
Well, the
that
funniest
are
part
catching
is,
up for-
and again, you got to. I'm saying this, and I'm saying this with all due respect. The funniest part is all the Latin guys get up and hug each other.
That's true.
Like they're
right.
the one guy from the Padres got up there and they had like a bear hug.
Kyle Rowley's got it. You need to know he hates you.
Okay, but
you're wearing a different color.
we
shirt,
are playing
so
a
he
game.
Hates you. These guys are chatting.
We're playing a game
They
here.
chat.
We got a ball game
They
going
have
on.
conversation.
I'm going to disagree with you here.
There's a deep.
I'm sorry,
at
dog.
At first base, they're talking about what movie they watched the
I'm
night
sorry.
before.
I'm
They're
sorry.
talking about what books they've
I'm
read.
sorry. I'm going-
They're talking about. Did you see the girl in the 6th row? With
I'm
the,
pro Cal. We got a ball game here, and I'm trying to win, and I don't have time to be shaking your hand.
I'm just a little worried about that if I bet a bunch of money on the Mariners, which I'm assuming is the reason why you're doing.
I'm just telling you, dude.
I'm assuming
I
that's the
am
reason why.
pro
you're-
Raleigh here.
You want to just watch?
We got a ball game.
You want to just watch Francesa clips instead?
Oh,
you want to just do that
definitely.
instead? You just want. Somebody sent me
gosh.
one yesterday. Hang on.
A new one?
Yeah, a new one.
Oh,
Well, he tried to say that we were idiots for not knowing that he meant Hunter Dickinson. Remember last week?
we were idiots.
Yeah, we were the idiots.
Oh,
We were
gotcha.
the
Yeah, Joel Embiid, he took his place after. That's our fault.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, because
obviously
they look a lot
he could
alike.
Score 50 points. He could score 50 points any night. Obviously. Hang on a second. Here we go.
Somebody really said that and was
No,
serious.
that was from.
Some buffoon.
What's that?
Somebody really said that to you? That we were to blame?
No, Francesa said that.
Oh, that we.
Francesa's
Francesa said that.
excuse.
I thought you meant like a listener.
No,
said
no. I got it. Was sent by a few of our listeners that are New York, like from New York originally, like Anthony Vetrano. I love you. You're the man. Love you, brother. He lived in New York for a long time, so he always, whenever we do Francesa segments,
He's our conduit.
Gets very excited
Right,
about
right,
it.
right, right.
I don't think he sent me this one. I think this one was Dave who sent me this. But this apparently was a follow-up. So again, if you missed it last week, last week the show was centered around honoring and celebrating the
All
greatest,
the malaprops.
the greatest, the greatest clip in sports radio history,
right.
which is of course Mike Francesa breaking
Right.
down.
I wonder how Flacco's going to do for the Ravens this year.
The-
I tell you what, Flacco, he's got a great career. And, what's
oh,
that? What's that? How you don't play for the Ravens anymore?
Oh, right.
I
You
meant
know what
the
I
other
was
guy.
thinking is
I meant Lamar.
So we shared and celebrated the greatest clip in radio history, the Maryland-Florida State game. But then, like manna from heaven, we had a new clip fall into our laps.
Greatest hits.
Which was Mike Francesa literally last
It's
week.
like Elton John putting
wait,
"I'm still
okay.
It's like Elton John putting "I'm still standing" on the greatest hits. All the Elton John greatest hits are all
Right.
pre-1980s, right?
Right.
Benny and the Jets, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road,
Yep.
Your Song, and then all of a sudden "I'm Still Standing" comes out, and Elton's like, "Dude, that's got to go on the greatest hits."
Well, he was just on that song with Dua Lipa a couple years
right,
ago.
that's got to
'cause
go on the
she
greatest
sampled
hits.
Rocket
so
Man,
that's what we
right?
did.
Yeah.
This is on the greatest hits now.
So Mike Francesa last week says, no, is this yesterday's clip or is this the one from last week?
This
This is yesterday's clip.
Yeah, this is the one
so
you
go
just
back
sent
to
me.
that tweet that
Okay.
that
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and then the previous clip. This was from last week. This was Mike Francesa, who manna from heaven. My God, this man.
So this was right before the opening round game?
Yes, if you need an NCAA tournament breakdown, this is who you turn to. This is the guy. This is Mike Francesa from last week, breaking down St. John's, obviously into the Sweet 16 now, and there was a bit of a storyline there, of course, because their star player
Zuby
had
Edge.
transferred
Right.
from Kansas to St. John's.
Right.
And he, of course, transferred because he was stuck behind
Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid, as we all know. We all know he's stuck behind. So this is the
Right.
clip from last week, if you missed it.
break, they score off the turnover, and they score off the offensive rebound. And then Zuby sometimes will get a little thing going.
Mhm.
Zuby can look really bad offensively, and he can look really sweet offensively. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially against Kansas. Because remember, he left Kansas, but that's a long time ago. And he left Kansas because of Embiid. And Embiid's a different player than Zuby. I mean, Embiid, when he's healthy, is a guy who can score 50 points in the NBA.
Mhm.
He's a big-time talent.
Mhm.
That's no big deal that that Embiid
you
was
can
over.
understand.
I mean, that
You
happens.
can understand
And he came and
why-
he found a home
100%. It makes
and had one of the great careers in the history of St. John's,
makes
which
sense.
is
Yeah, all right. That's we got the point. He'd scored 50 points a night, obviously, Embiid. Like, he's clearly,
In the NBA.
but What he meant to say, of course, as he said on Twitter, was, I meant to say Hunter Dickinson, who, and you can see where you get those two guys confused.
Well, they both pee standing up.
Right. That's a great point. Well, we don't.
Yeah,
You assume they do. I mean, I don't know how many times I know you watched Tim Tebow pee the one time.
No, Prince.
Prince. That's right. You watched Prince pee.
I didn't watch him, but I stood next to him.
Okay.
He was standing up.
I'm
Although
sure.
you can't tell with him.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't. He's not a very tall man. You're right.
Not at all. Like, it's bizarre how small he was.
Yeah, right.
Like a jockey.
So, yeah, he wants you to know that's not on him.
Right.
That's on you.
Right, correct.
For not understanding. So this was his follow-up yesterday. It's not his fault. It's our fault.
I want to hear this. Buffoon.
But don't into some of the crazy stuff. I know the other day when I was talking about Zuby, I said Embiid instead of Hunter Dickinson, who I was thinking about in my head. I don't know. I got a brain warp. What can I tell you? But how could anybody in their right mind try to make a case that I'm not aware of a player who was drafted third in the draft, has been an MVP and a two-time scoring champion in the NBA? Does anybody listen to me talk about basketball and think I'm not aware of Embiid's career?
I mean, right?
Right? Try and sell out to somebody. I got a bridge to sell you if you think you can sell it to somebody.
It's a great point.
I mean,
he's got a bridge to sell you. If you believe that he doesn't know the difference.
People don't know
between...
sports.
Oh.
Can recite Embiid's career to you.
Whoa. Cut that.
I'm trying to think that
hey, clip that. Cut that clip.
Yeah.
But cut that clip.
You know sports.
People don't know sports. You know what, Mike? You got me.
It's a great point. It's a great
now
point.
That you say that,
right?
you know what? Self-reflection here. I think you're right.
God, man. That's
is there
on,
any way at
we
all,
don't need more.
Is there any way at all that his accent contributes to this?
This is
that,
now you think this is a Rosarena situation that we don't understand because we can't understand exactly what he's saying. I don't know when
I'm asking you if you think in any way that this accent actually props this up even better.
Oh, it's more.
It's just like,
yeah.
If he was just a regular old dude.
Well, now he doesn't really even sound like he's from New York.
Yeah, he sounds like
he sounds like RFK Jr.
Yeah,
really.
Right. He's stumbling and bumbling.
Yeah, right. Like he sounds like. Like, I know you're telling me you're healthy because you take your shirt off a lot, but I hear you. I'm just not sure you're healthy.
Yeah, I'm not either.
That's the reality of what Mike Francesa sounds like.
Well, he just said, though, you said it. You're right. It is our fault.
Yes.
I meant sports.
You don't know sports.
Right. If you
can recite Embiid's career to you.
If you don't know that Mike Francesa meant Hunter Dickinson when he said the guy that could score 50 points a night in the NBA, obviously Hunter. Now, how many? Now you remind me, Griffin, because I haven't checked. How many 50-point games has Hunter Dickinson had in the NBA?
I'm not positive about this.
Can you double check on that?
Yeah, I can double check.
It's got to be like he could score 50 any night when you think about it. So I'm gonna guess he's had, I don't know, at least 30, right? Like at least 30 50-point games in his NBA. Well, hang on. You're the host of NBA Hanging on the Rim. How many 50-point games has Hunter Dickinson had in the NBA?
None.
Oh, that was what I also thought it was none.
I know sports.
Right. That's a great point. You don't know sports.
And here's the thing. It probably would be different. And again, I realize he didn't go to the same school, but it would be different if he would have said would have been different if he would have said Derek Queen, or I'll give you an example. Mm-hmm. It would have been different if he would have been talking about Maryland basketball, and he would have said, tell you, that kid Cowan, remember that year that boy Cowan played a great game against blah, 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 blah,
right.
And he meant Melo Trimble.
Yes.
Anyone could do that.
You did that last week,
probably,
yes.
right.
Yeah.
Anyone could do that except Bob Haney. Anyone could do that.
That's a fact. Maybe Terry.
And Terry, right.
Yeah.
But anyone could make that mistake. Like Cowan, Trimble,
any of these point guards, Jameer Young, right?
Right.
Like they all kind of ran together a little bit at Maryland.
You
right?
took a 7'1" African American and juxtaposed him against a 7'1" white guy and thought it was our fault.
Well, and then you literally
they're not the same.
But he also then described the details of of Joel Embiid.
Right.
It'd be one thing if he just said Embiid and then he described Embiid. Look, that makes sense. Embiid's a great player. Like he could average.
It would be like me right now saying to you, dude, what's going on with Maryland lacrosse? What's going on?
Name a player.
Yeah, I mean, well, the one guy, the goalie, I tell you, the goalie has really had a tough time.
Yeah, but you know what?
They lost the other day to Penn State. They're just having a tough time.
That part is true.
And
You're
and you
right.
never know with them. Like
That's
they
it.
could win. Like this weekend, they're playing Virginia. They could
Well,
win.
no, they already played that game.
Well, I meant.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I meant.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
I meant
Obvious.
Syracuse, but
Right.
you know that.
Right. They definitely
They-
already played the
yeah,
So-
they played
Syracuse game
Syracuse,
too. But
Okay, but that
Yeah.
now see now you're pissing me off. Now you're nitpicking like he did. I know who they're playing,
yeah.
and to tell you the goalie is really struggling.
Right. The goalie. Now.
And if-
now
and it-
what's his name?
But here's the thing: if you're going to give up goals, a lot of goals,
Right.
in lacrosse, you're going to lose.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I'm just
But this
concerned
is
about I'm
you're
concerned
doing
about the
you're,
goalie.
you're doing my first ever Phoenix Coyotes postgame show right
Yeah,
now.
right.
You're doing the show that I did when they
But I'm
hired me the
concerned.
first time
But I
to
am
do.
concerned about the goalie, and they've lost these games this year
It's a great point.
to
They
these
have-
teams
they've
that
lost games to
they
teams.
shouldn't be losing to.
Well, I mean that. I don't know. Who's-
Yeah,
who have they lost to that they shouldn't be losing?
well, they
to?
lost to the one team that there's no way they should have
Yeah,
lost
right,
to them.
Right, that team. Yeah,
They lost to them. They
That's a
lost to
great
Richmond,
they
right?
They didn't play Richmond, but yeah, I mean Richmond's also.
But they
really,
lost to the one team they definitely shouldn't have lost to.
Right, that one was.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They lost to Virginia.
exactly. You know sports. I don't know. The issue here.
But this would be like me
is that
doing
I
this.
don't know sports.
But this would be like
Right.
me talking about
100%.
Maryland lacrosse. And on the surface, I do know
Which
Maryland's
is-
struggling.
Right, they
They
are.
lost to Penn State. I know it.
Yeah,
But,
but
then,
you don't know any actual details.
Right.
Right.
But
You
then
know
for
none.
me to act like
Right.
here's what I
Who's
here's
their
what,
star player that got hurt 2 games ago?
Right,
you have
Daniel
no
Kelly.
clue. I mean, you've named a Maryland lacrosse
there,
player.
there you go.
have
Joke's
no-
on you. I told you I know sports.
You do know
But
sports.
it would be akin to that. And me trying to pass it off to you.
Right.
Like, dude, bummer about Maryland losing to Penn State, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean
it's-
this guy is
There's a reason
out of his
why.
mind.
There's a reason why we don't do certain topics. There's just a reason. But again, it's different when Drew's here because it's time for.
Oh, jeez. Okay, hold on.
Oh man, I had it all lined up.
I know.
I had it all lined
I hope
up.
it's
and
shaved
then you
ice
let me
first.
down.
Oh, by the way.
Ah!
Oh, shoot.
You had a 1 out
You
of.
want me to give it another try?
No.
You're good. You're
we'll
good.
do this
I got
first.
nothing for you, so it doesn't matter.
Time for Hanging on the Rim. Hanging on the Rim is brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel. The Mania gets back underway tomorrow night. Best place to watch all the games is inside Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel. 100-foot media wall, great food and drink specials, giveaways, interactive activities.
Casino and Hotel. I don't know what he's doing over there, but it makes me nervous.
Well, it's time. Here we are, right? April, coming up on April, and it's time to really start reflecting
By the
on.
way, that's what he
For Hanging on the Rim
No, I got
is he knows what date it is. That's
we're getting close to now where we're gonna have to start discussing the worst phrase made up in the history of sports, which is load management. I don't know why we don't come up with some other better name.
now is when
But-
we're going to
but
talk
anyway.
about it.
So that's huge. The Lakers have been playing pretty well. I tell you what, who's played great at San Antonio.
Yeah, that's
San
true.
Antonio won 22 out of 24. Wemby now officially like the favorite for the MVP. And you got to give Popovich credit.
Is he the favorite for the MVP?
I think so. I'm saying that's my opinion
Oh,
as
that's
an
your-
analyst.
Okay. All right.
But you got to give Popovich credit.
Right. Great point.
The guy wins big games.
He does. He's got a history of it.
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama.
They're rallying around him.
I'll give you this much. He's the third favorite
Correct.
for MVP.
But in my opinion,
Right.
you brought me on here to give you my opinion.
now, it's almost like there's a literal minus 900 favorite to be NBA MVP.
Who? Jokic?
No.
Doncic?
No.
Oh, the dude from Oklahoma City.
Hey!
SGA.
Yes.
I don't know his name, but I know the initials.
It's, you know what? Neither does anyone.
Yeah.
This is Nate Bargatze doing the George Washington bit right now.
Right.
What?
We-
and what's his actual name?
We don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows.
No one knows.
San Antonio, though, is seriously coming on.
They are.
First time I think in 9 years, maybe they won the division. The Wizards not in.
No.
Not
No,
happening for the
gonna-
Wizards.
Maybe.
But Juju Reese has been a great story.
An interesting story. But
Okay.
again, if you're the best,
Well, the minute they take him out of the lineup, a guy drops 82 or 80, whatever.
yeah, that'll show them. I'll tell you what.
It was such a dumb week last week. He broke a. They had to do it so he could break a record. I'm like, he didn't break a record.
We broke the second
He
place
just
record.
scored.
Okay,
That's
but-
not a record.
But no one cares.
Well, maybe
Right.
the 100 one didn't happen though.
That's a great point. Right?
Yeah, a lot of people do say it's like the man on the moon.
There's no video.
Nobody knows if
There
Wilt Chamberlain
is
really
no
did it
video.
or not,
great
or if the
point.
rim was the right. I heard that one once.
Okay.
The rim was like
They played at 9 feet
like
or
yeah,
something.
the rim was like 3 inches shorter that night for some weird reason. Like,
Okay.
people are insane.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory? What's one that you're absolutely on board
I'll
with?
give you one. I'm telling you the truth. This is dead serious.
Mm-hmm.
I am not at all convinced that the thing that happened in Pennsylvania with Trump is legitimate.
Well then.
I'm not at all convinced of that.
What part would not be legitimate?
All of it.
Someone died.
Oh, that's collateral damage.
But all right, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone.
No, you know why. You know why.
I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Well,
I'm
you asked
just
me.
Gonna leave it
I'm not
alone.
convinced that was legitimate.
All right, but when you say
Too much crazy stuff
when
happened.
you say legitimate, all right.
So,
I'm not.
you're
Nope,
telling
I regret
me.
this.
No.
I regret it.
You're
I
telling
seriously
me.
regret it.
No, time out. You're telling me, and God bless, my son is not 19 yet, but you're telling me that my son, with his incredibly limited scope of reality,
Yes.
got in his car in Baltimore with
Well, no, I'm not gonna tell you that.
with
No.
weapons,
Yeah.
drove up to Lancaster, Pennsylvania,
Right.
avoided all of these tactical professionals, scaled the roof.
Okay, this is the part. I now know what you're saying. When you said it wasn't legitimate, that sounded like you were saying you thought no shot was fired, or it didn't act like that's the way you were saying it.
Okay.
I don't really have any interest in talking
Okay.
about the other part of it, but I understand now what you're saying. The way you were saying
In no
it was,
world
all
would
right,
someone
all right.
who almost got shot stand up and throw their fist in the air.
Well, there's that.
But come on.
I'm still confused as to what you think which part wasn't
It was
legitimate.
staged. It was staged.
I don't want to do this. I really don't want to
You
do
asked me.
this. I just don't have any interest. No, I regret
You couldn't
it.
have said the moon landing.
It's on. Yeah, it's on
The
me.
moon landing.
Couldn't
I
you give
saw
me
the
a
moon landing.
Couldn't you have given me a cheeky conspiracy?
He hit a
theory
6-iron.
Couldn't you have given me something cheeky?
You know that
instead
was the first time a guy ever won $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That was the question.
no.
What iron did the?
So that wasn't the $1 million question.
It was the first time that someone ever won $1 million on
It
Who
wasn't
Wants.
the $1 million question. I know what the $1 million question was.
Well, maybe you're right then.
Yeah.
I thought I knew it.
no, the first $1 million question was actually really kind of an embarrassing $1 million question.
Okay.
It was one that I even. I
Well, you
wonder-
didn't know it.
No, I knew it, but I'm wondering if Griffin could get it or not.
Okay. I thought it was he hit a 6-iron on the moon.
No, that might have been one of the questions.
Okay.
I don't know. But the first $1 million question was which of these U.S. presidents appeared on the television series Laugh-In? And remember,
Oh, I think I know the
called
answer.
his
Well,
dad. Like,
and
I'm going to
said-
use my phone a friend.
and
Called
said,
his dad
I
and said,
just want $1
I don't
million.
need your help. I just want to let
I
you
thought
know
that
I
was
just
the
won $1 million.
$6-iron
Was it the
question.
clip?
No.
I thought that was the 6-iron
Yeah, you can
question.
go ahead. This was the first. This was the first.
Turn the
ever
music
winner
down.
of-
The basketball's done.
We're still talking
He
about
never-
basketball.
He, never, he somehow went. You
No,
know
you
what?
did it.
No, it's on me. It is
Conspiracy
on me.
theory.
I thought maybe you go with the frozen envelope. I thought you might go with something
The
like
what?
that. The frozen Patrick Ewing, the frozen envelope in the draft.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that might
I
be where
think
you went.
COVID was too.
All right, this is good. This is beneficial. Don't regret this at
I
all.
think COVID was a.
This was the first $1 million.
All right, let's hear it.
This was on.
Well, I was wrong, man. I thought it was a 6-iron
This is
question.
a long clip. I don't know if we can
I
share the
know.
whole clip.
Now it's not playing either.
This was a
good.
great show, man.
Was it?
This was a great
Or did
show.
we just not have a lot of options?
Well,
And
no,
so
no. This was a great show.
I don't know, man. The more I think
You're out
about
of your
it,
mind.
I'm not certain it was.
We
great
sat here
show.
every night and watched this.
We did, but I don't. We also watched The Weakest Link, and that was a dumb show. All right, well
yeah,
that
it's
that
not
was
a dumb show.
dynamite.
Well, we're done with that.
Dynamite.
Let's go back to Cal Raleigh.
No,
We got a ball game here we're playing.
Do you know what the answer was? Which of the U.S.
Yeah,
presidents?
Richard Nixon.
Yes, of course.
Oh, really? I guess I would have said
I'm
Reagan.
not a
probably.
crook.
Very, very famous.
I'm not a
Because remember, it was
on
like the most
on a TV
awkward
show.
"sock it to me" anyone's ever said. Like,
Right.
"Sock it to me" it was so bad.
And we did. 3 years later.
That's fair.
All right.
That is fair. Yeah, that was.
But
the
what's
first
yours?
ever.
Your conspiracy theory.
That's a good question. I'm willing to believe a lot, but I don't know that I fully believe, right? Like I'm willing to believe that aliens exist, but I don't know that I actually believe that aliens
Have you seen the
exist.
Flyers cheerleaders?
I understand. I understand. But I'm willing to
That was
believe they
terrible.
do.
I'm sorry.
I'm willing to believe it. I don't know
apologize
that
for
there's
that
any that I like fully like.
Okay.
Like I'm certain. I guarantee.
I'm not
that this
certain about what happened up there in Pennsylvania, but I'm just telling you a lot of stuff doesn't add up.
I'm glad we're still doing that.
No.
How about you hit that other music real quick?
All right, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. How about we move on just about as quickly as we possibly can?
Everybody is so soft.
That's the problem.
Can't talk about anything.
That's the problem. We're all just so soft. Shaved Ice is brought to you today by. Oh, this one's brought to you by the print issue of Press Box, which is available for free at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores, anywhere around town where you find Press Box. Read it all. PressBoxOnline.com. Cal Ripken on the cover. 1,000 goals.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a downer because the Caps stink. But 1,000 goals for Ovi, including the playoffs. Have to assume there's been some rumors recently that he's dropped a hint
Cryptic
or
hints
two
that this is it.
that he might go play in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't buy that. I don't see he can go do that in 2 years because that's where they all go. I don't think he's gonna just leave without a farewell tour, and I don't think the Capitals. Obviously, he could do whatever he wants, but I don't think they would, air quotes, allow it. Meaning, like, Ovi, here's an extra $5 million. You got to play the season out next year. That's my opinion. He definitely has slowed down. This was a pretty telling year for him. He has really slowed down, but expected to slow down, right? Like, he's got 26 goals, I guess. He's not a 40-goal guy anymore. But Caps lose last night 3-0 in St. Louis.
So you don't think people should be racing down to D.C. to see Alex Ovechkin one more time before?
I don't. I just think there's too much benefit for everyone.
Can't believe I spent all that money on those tickets. God, I feel really silly.
But there
now.
have been some rumors that he's maybe
I've
going to
heard
go to the KHL. Tell you who's playing great is Buffalo.
Oh, you know what? Nobody cares about that. We didn't talk about the puck last week.
But the what?
How do you feel about Jack Hughes wants his puck from the game, the gold medal winning goal? It's at the Hockey Hall of Fame. How do you feel about it?
I don't believe that's his property. I don't. I don't believe that's his property.
Well, it's definitely not his property, but should it be gifted to him?
No.
Why not?
Because it's hockey's. It belongs to hockey. It doesn't belong to him. It belongs to hockey. It's funny you bring that up. I was going to write about it in last week, and somehow I got
I did
off,
a couple segments on WBAL about it this weekend,
and what's the prevailing thought from people?
Indifferent about the puck, right? It bled into another opinion that I have. So here's where I am with the puck.
Which is he's adorable.
He is.
Okay.
Somebody actually had a really good idea. First of all, it is a little bit silly that it's at the Hockey Hall of Fame, specifically because the Hockey Hall of Fame is in Canada. And I don't know how many people
You can turn that music down, by the way.
are in Canada going to be excited about going and seeing the pucks from the U.S. beating Canada in the Olympics. It's kind of a silly place. I'm not saying there are no Americans that ever visit the Hockey Hall of Fame, but uniquely, it's probably a bad spot. There's almost certainly more Canadians that visit the Hockey Hall of Fame than there are Americans.
You're telling me something I didn't know. There isn't the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame?
I'm sure there is a U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame somewhere, but the Hockey Hall of Fame is in Toronto.
Gotcha.
So the suggestion that we had somebody make on WBAL was they should take the pucks and tour them, because they have both his
just
and
like the Stanley
Megan
Cup.
Keller's, and tour them around to all of the arenas
Totally
in
agree.
the U.S., and maybe like youth hockey events, stuff like that, and let people take pictures with
Totally
them and
agree.
hold them and do the whole thing. And then maybe after like a year of that, when the fervor has kind of died down, then you gift it to them. Then you say, by the way, now, like, there's not really quite as much interest in this as there was. Thank you. We appreciate you delivering us this gold medal. You may now have the puck moving forward. I thought that was a cool...
Isn't there a U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame?
I believe there is. I believe there is a U.S. Olympic.
There's a U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame in Minnesota.
Okay, and I think there's a U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame somewhere.
You would think there'd be one in Colorado. That's where like all the
Right.
U.S. Olympic
But
stuff is.
it-
I do
it
not
should-
see a U.S. Olympic.
I won't disagree that it shouldn't be in Canada. Should be here.
There
it's in
is
Colorado
it's a
Springs.
museum. It's not a Hall of Fame. It's a museum, but
okay,
it's in
but that's
Colorado
where-
Springs. Yeah.
But that's where it should be.
Yeah, it's not a bad place for it. It's not bad. I don't like the idea of it.
I would say, of all of the things, You can create whatever scenario you want about where it should go.
Mm-hmm.
What I would contend is it is not his. He does not own it.
I don't disagree with that, but I also think that he accomplished it, and out of our gratitude for accomplishing it, I think that at
Why
some
wouldn't
point
I just give him a puck and
fake
scratch it up a
pretend
little
it,
bit?
right? Like, hey man,
Scratch it
here's
up.
your puck.
Here it
right?
is. Here it is, dog.
No, I think your idea isn't bad. Here's the other issue I have. I don't think it should be under a glass case. Like, looking at a puck isn't all that remarkable, but the idea of the puck being something that people could touch, could hold, that's the way you're touching
Right.
this thing that gave you joy, I think is really cool.
It would be interesting to find out where the ball is that Anthony Rizzo caught and shoved in his pocket when the Cubs
right,
won.
when they were doing the bit. Yeah, he
That was
like,
his first.
yeah.
He caught the ball.
Yep.
And I think it was Anthony Rizzo,
Right.
right? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it
it was
was.
Rizzo.
Yeah.
Anthony Rizzo caught the ball. If it wasn't Anthony Rizzo, it was Bull Durham. It was Leon Durham. You didn't get that. That was my Francesa.
Thank you. Thank you.
But he caught the ball and shoved it in his pocket. What happened to that ball?
I don't know the answer to that question. But you bring
But
up.
does he own? Is that his ball now? I caught it.
I don't know. I assume not.
Apparently, Rizzo gave it to the Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts during their parade.
Okay.
And
what did he do with it?
I have this
Sell it?
opinion. I have this opinion about baseball, and people get pissed off at me every time I bring it up. Right? And like everybody on BAL got pissed off about it. I don't believe
It's so fascinating to aggravate the masses, isn't it?
it. Well, I mean, I'm never going to change
About
my mind about
dumb
this.
stuff.
Watching that idiotic. First of all, it's hilarious because the comparison is Bam Adebayo, who didn't break a record. Aaron Judge also did not break a record, right? But these doofuses.
When? What do you mean?
When he hit
60 homers?
62 home runs, right? Like, he broke the American League. No,
Right.
that's not a thing.
Right.
No one has ever concerned themselves over what the American League.
Okay.
What's the American League record for the most hits in a season? You have no idea.
Suzuki.
It's not a thing.
It is Suzuki, though, right?
Yeah, maybe. I have no idea.
I would assume it is Ichiro.
But you can
Or-
look it
or
up
Ty
and
Cobb.
find out. But
But I don't even know if the Ty Cobb thing really
who
happened.
cares?
Right.
It's not a thing.
Okay,
But
I mean-
yet, these doofuses went to catch these home run balls because enough people thought that he was breaking a record
Right,
that they
right.
were going to sell it for $1 million. I have always been of the belief that it should say on the back of your ticket, you can have the baseball unless we want it. Because it's embarrassing that some guy who didn't do anything gets to catch a ball or fight a kid for a ball thinking it's going to be worth thousands of dollars instead of the person that did the thing having the ball. Now, I absolutely believe that these people should be taken care of. You should give them autographed stuff, let them meet the player, do all of that.
Okay, so it's interesting.
I don't
you believe that when Aaron Judge hits that ball into the seats,
It should be his ball.
It should be his ball.
He accomplished something. You didn't. You didn't accomplish shit.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And again, if you want to give the dude 2 season tickets
I think
or
you
whatever,
should. I think you should absolutely, as
again,
a
that's what we do in
gesture.
our country now, right? I got to get something.
Right. You shouldn't have to, but I think the team should choose to. I think they should always choose. I think on the back of your ticket, you'd say you can have any ball unless it is
It's a historical moment,
we,
or
a ball that we
well,
want for the
yeah,
player.
I mean, right. I
And
mean,
in which case, if that's the case, we will reward you with. And I get the danger is, well, what if the team's cheap out? Again, there's no reason that you needed it to begin with.
other than you want to sell it,
Correct.
You're not
You
keeping
didn't-
it.
You didn't do anything.
right?
You accomplished nothing. You just want to be rewarded by dumb luck. It's a lottery ticket to you.
Right.
No,
I get it. Right.
That player
No, I agree with you.
accomplished something.
I agree with you.
And if that ball, now maybe the player says, I don't care about the ball. Doesn't mean anything to me. But if the player wants the ball,
Well, the kid from Nebraska that made this shot the other night, does he get the basketball?
no.
No, but I mean, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
yeah,
Like, I'm
no.
asking you, like,
No.
does he get the ball?
But I would argue that they should have the option. Maybe they have to buy it, right? They have to say to the NCAA,
My
here's-
shot. I made it.
Here's all right, and here's your
Right.
$25 for your basketball.
Right.
But I would argue they should have the option of having the ball. If it's something that meaningful to the player that accomplished the thing, I think they should have that option. And maybe the same thing. If the player wants the baseball, you got to pay. Here, we'll take $8 out of your check, right? I don't know how you'll notice.
Right. No, I get it. I agree with you.
I can't believe that.
No, I totally agree with you. I just don't.
What a moment.
I don't see. But it's interesting though because now we're saying the opposite about the Jack Hughes thing.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I think that ultimately the player should have it.
So you do think?
I
Jack
just
Hughes,
think it should be.
Okay.
I think it should be a unique timeline. And again, this wasn't my idea. I wish I could remember the name of the texter. The texter suggested take it around for a year, and then the fervor is going to die down. A year from now, there's not going to be as much excitement about this thing that happened a year ago.
It could be 2 years.
Yeah,
but
whatever it is.
Someday in the future, it won't
matter. But then
matter.
at some point,
I get
gift it to Jack Hughes. Say, all right, now you accomplished this thing. We want you to have it. But for a little while, we want people to touch it. And I can make the same argument for these baseballs, right? Like that you work out a deal with Mark McGwire. Like, hey, man, you're going to get the ball eventually. But for a little while,
just put your needle on display.
Right. Yeah, that would be a good idea too. Maybe write a picture of you right in the ass, right? But you're going to get the ball eventually.
Hey, Mark, you're going to go around all the stadiums. You're going to drop your pants. No frontal view.
And all the fans get the opportunity.
No frontal view.
Right,
we just want to see your rear end.
Maybe we're not going to do that. Maybe we're not going to do that. But that's my opinion. That is my opinion.
I don't disagree with that.
Anyway,
back to shaved ice.
No, we got to take a break. We got Chris Davis joining us. Right. But tomorrow we're going to be at Quigley's.
Are you going to the game?
Yeah, we're going to the game tomorrow morning. Come hang
out
with us.
Are they playing again?
They're playing the Twins.
Yeah. That's a good opening day.
It is
That's
a decent
win for us.
Day. We'll see. Starting at 9 a.m. The show will start, 9:30, somewhere in that range. But we're going to be there starting at 9 a.m. at Quigley's Half Irish Pub. Really just a block down from the stadium. What's the address? Portland Street? 633 Portland Street?
633 Portland
That's
Street.
That's what I
correct.
thought. And it's like Portland and it's the corner of Portland.
Emory.
Emory, yes.
Portland
It's exactly where it is. We want to see you at Quigley's, and we want you to wear something polar bear themed. And if you do, you're going to get a Crabs Beer Game Day t-shirt from Pressbox, and the best polar bear themed apparel is going to win $250 cash and another $100 in food and beverage credit from Live Casino and Hotel. We'll be there 9 to 11:30. We'll start registering people at 9. We'll pick a winner at 11:30. You don't have to be present to win, so you can only pop in for an hour. All good. We'll get a picture of you in your polar bear gear, and if you win,
why
you will
polar
be
bear?
Venmo'd.
What's the connection?
It's baseball. You can't get anything past this guy. Why polar bear? He asks. Why polar bear? Because everyone knows Trevor Rogers' nickname is the polar bear. Everybody knows that.
And he's pitching for who?
We'll come back in. Chris Davis is
I got
scheduled.
you there.
We'll see you tomorrow at Quigley's is the point. Chris
yeah,
Davis
yeah,
joins us
yeah.
next. Glenn Clark Radio.
Let's go.
This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs in the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack, Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of PressBox is available now. On the cover, Dave Ginsburg chats with Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. about his life now at the age of 65, his role with the Orioles ownership group, and much more. Also inside, Bill Ordine helps us learn more about new Ravens head coach Jesse Minter. Luke Jackson finds out about new Orioles slugger Pete Alonso from those who have played with him, and we meet college lacrosse players from programs all across the area. PressBox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
March Mania is on at Live Casino. And you can get a front row seat for all the action at Sports and Social. Raise your game with massive wall-to-wall TVs. And raise a cheer with your favorite beers, cocktails, and an all-star menu. Best of all, you could win huge prizes every game. Don't get benched. Book your table at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Wednesday edition of the program. Did you say you got to head out? Is that your?
Yeah, I've got. We got a match today.
Who are you playing today?
So we're playing Gilman.
All right. Is this the first or is
second?
We
played McDonough Monday. We won, but now we're on the road today, and we got to go.
Is this a big one? Is this you nervous about
big.
this one?
They're all big.
Okay. All right. You're not looking past this one?
No. All
right. Very good.
Everybody,
Very good.
We're everybody's Super Bowl.
Drew'sMorningDish.com. Anything that we can plug for you?
Not at all. Just have a great day. Go O's. And who they playing again? I'm kidding. Tell Chris Davis to say hi.
I will do that.
Bye.
Love you, buddy. That's Drew Forrester, Drew'sMorningDish.com. Opening day is tomorrow, and then a little bit later on this summer, our next guest is going to be recognized and honored in the Baltimore Orioles Hall of Fame. It's a pleasure to welcome back to the program the man you know as Crush. He is Chris Davis, and he is with us now here on GCR. Chris, it's Glenn. It's great to see you again, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, man, what does this mean to you, right? Like, when you get a call like this, and I'm sure you knew it was in the works for some time, but, maybe it's not Cooperstown, but it's still, I'm sure, a pretty significant moment for you.
Oh, it's a huge honor, especially when you think about the company that you're joining and the guys that are in the Hall of Fame, not only in the O's Hall of Fame, but in the Cooperstown Hall of Fame. I mean, growing up in Texas, and Texas being a football state, we didn't really understand what it meant to play for an organization that had so much history and so much tradition, or to play for a town that was legit a baseball town. And so being traded up there and getting to experience that firsthand and really getting to be a part of the group that kind of brought that winning tradition back to Baltimore was a big deal to me and my family. And to be recognized for it and to be in this group, included in this group of guys, is just a huge honor.
It's interesting you saying that, right? Because we know Nick's already in, Adams. It is part of that we think of that 2012 to 2016 era of Orioles baseball, right? And you were here and decided to stick around through it. Is part of this that feel, while it wasn't a World Series championship, but in a way it kind of felt like that around here because of how bad things have been. That it's still a celebration to you of that and what you all were able to accomplish during that time beyond just, you hitting a ton of home runs.
Yeah, no doubt. I think when you really kind of look back over the course of those 4 years and you start to look at some of those guys that I played with that were on that team, man, just the careers that they had, but really the time that we had together, we felt like we had a World Series caliber team. Obviously winning the division in 2014, making the playoffs in 12, 14, and 16. It was just like we were one piece short. Every year we felt like we had an opportunity to not only win our division, but to go deep into the postseason. And I think a lot of that too was really built on the attitude of kind of, we had a chip on our shoulder. A lot of guys on that team were cast-offs, were from other organizations, had kind of been written off by other teams. And I think a lot of that really just kind of fell hand in hand with the identity of the city. It's a blue collar city, a working class city. And I think it was just really, we were just kind of made for that stretch of time. We were kind of made for the city of Baltimore, and it was a lot of fun, man. And I when I think back to some of the most fun times of my career, I think back to that 4-year stretch with those guys.
Do you have one? I mean, like, for me, it's the opening day grand slam, right? Like, I
Yeah.
still talk about it. Like, it was just chilling, right? But like, do you have a couple? Everybody thinks about the night you guys clinched the division, but are there a couple in there that are particularly meaningful for you? And like on a tough day, you might like maybe pull up YouTube and be like, I want to remember that I did that and what that feeling felt like.
Yeah, I'll never forget the feeling of hitting the grand slam on opening day. Just the days, leading up to that game, getting off to a hot start. Even the season before, kind of establishing myself as an everyday player, playing all over the field, pitching in Boston, and then getting an opportunity to be the everyday guy at first base, getting off to a hot start. And I still get chills when I think about rounding first base and hearing the crowd on that opening day against the Twins when I hit that grand slam. To me, one of the most meaningful moments of my career was going back to Texas in 2012 in the first ever wild card playoff game, and beating the Rangers on their field with like 8 dudes from the Rangers organization on that Orioles team. Yeah. Obviously, Buck was the manager there before Wash, and just having being able to have that moment with those guys on the field where I got called up, where I started my career, that was huge for me. And I think it really set the tone for the next few years for that team and that group of guys.
Of course, the great Joe Saunders on the mound for that game, who will forever be a folk hero in Baltimore because of it. Chris Davis is with us here on GCR. Chris, obviously, right? Like, I wonder for you, what I'm fascinated by is, were you at all worried the last couple of years? Did you know, hey, man, when I come back to Baltimore, I know these people are going to love me, and I don't have to. Did you have to think about that at all? We all know how the last couple of years went. Did you have to think about that at all? Was there any concern for you about coming back to Baltimore, or were you confident, hey, man, everybody goes through tough times. I know what I did for the city. I know these people are going to appreciate that when I come back.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me and my wife was we knew what we meant to not just the city, but the people and the community. Yeah. And what we wanted to establish when we got there, even before the contract, was we wanted to establish a relationship with the people of the city. We wanted to be involved in charity work. We wanted to be involved with organizations in and around the city. And I think that was probably the most important thing for us. Obviously, the baseball side is big for me because it kept me there. But I think the biggest thing that we wanted to establish there was just an understanding and an appreciation for the people of the city of Baltimore. And I think that was really the biggest thing that I took away. The last few years going through injuries, trying to continue to play through injuries, and really struggling. I think that was one of the things that kind of helped me work through that, was knowing that I wasn't just there to play baseball. Obviously, that was a big part of it, but I was there to help impact the people around me and give back to the city of Baltimore. And I think I saw that the most when I went back for Jonesy's retirement, when they retired him as an Oriole, and getting the ovation and the applause when we were on the field. That really meant a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to my family. But I think when times are really hard and you're going through a lot of struggle, I think it's really easy to focus on the negative. But man, I had so many good people in the city and around the city that were really lifting me up and reminding me that I was more than just a baseball player. And so I really appreciated that.
But you referenced that. I think everybody knows how much you were involved with the Children's Hospital, and I know how much you were involved with Helping Up Mission, a place that I care about a great deal, and we continue to be involved with every year. How important, you mentioned how important it was to you, but why was it so paramount that was what you and your wife did when you put down your roots in Baltimore, when you decided to, take the contract, stay here, and call it home? Why was it so imperative to you that you be so heavily involved with those types of groups?
I think it was just a way for us to show our appreciation and to really give back. And for before we signed the contract and bought a house up there, we lived in the city for 4 years and really loved it, to be honest with you, because it gave us an understanding and appreciation for the culture in the city of Baltimore. We got to be really immersed in it. And I think that was really probably the biggest thing for Jill and I was we wanted to get back to the people that had given us so much. I mean, we're from, East Texas and just outside of Dallas. And they had no reason to embrace us the way that they did. And it was just from day one, I remember being up there and people were excited. And Jill actually told me a story the other day. She said, I remember sitting in the stands right after you got traded over there. And, or maybe she was in a gift shop, I think, and she was looking for something and somebody overheard that she was my fiance and the person turned and said, hey, we're really excited about this guy. Like we're excited about this trade. We're excited about him and what he could potentially do for this team. And that meant a lot to me. And I know it meant a lot to her. And I think that was really one of the reasons that we wanted to get involved was we were really embraced and accepted by the fan base and the people of Baltimore. And we just wanted to show our appreciation and get back as much as we could.
Chris, was there a reason, like we knew what your power, you referenced when you came over, the excitement, like we had seen the power potential already. Like we knew what you were capable of doing, but I don't think anybody knew it was 50 home runs at that point. Was there a reason why it might have uniquely clicked in Baltimore or maybe would it have clicked for you, had you stayed in Texas, had you ended up in Detroit or something like that? Was there anything unique about Baltimore, the atmosphere, the coaches, anything like that you think had to do with why you were able to sort of harness all of that and become the power player, the hitter that you became?
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with just the timing. I had kind of worn out my welcome in Texas. We had a loaded farm system. We had a lot of guys that were competing for just a few positions at the big league level. And I needed an opportunity to kind of restart and kind of a clean slate. And I give a lot of credit to Buck early on because we sat down and had some one-on-one tough conversations about, hey, this isn't an open-ended ticket. You're going to get an opportunity to play and to show that you belong here and that you can compete every day here. But at the same time, you're going to have to produce. And I understood I was out of options. I wasn't going to be able to just be optioned back down to AAA if I struggled. And I knew that I was going to get an opportunity to play. And I told him, I said, look, if anything, just be honest with me. Just be honest with me. Like, if you think I suck, tell me I suck. If you think I'm good, tell me I'm good. I just want you to be honest with me. And I think that, along with the group of guys that were there, having Manny and some of those younger guys come up and kind of add on to what we had already had at the big league level, I think that was huge for me. Having Jonesy, having Nicky, having guys around me that were going to get on base, that were going to put pressure on the other team and on the other pitching staff. To have to throw me pitches and then for me to be ready for those opportunities to capitalize on them. I think it was just kind of the perfect storm. I didn't realize how uncomfortable I had been in Texas until I came up to Baltimore. I felt like there was a ton of pressure on me to perform. There were a lot of eyes. Obviously, I was close to home. So there were always a ton of people at games or around the stadium that wanted to hang out afterwards. And getting up to Baltimore and kind of getting away from that and kind of being able to reestablish myself and create a new identity for myself, I think was really big.
Chris, it's funny because I think about, all those amazing memories, right? And how incredible that team was. How did you handle the other side of it, right? Like, how did you handle the way it probably wears on you mentally as much as physically when you reference the injuries and hearing dummies like me in media saying what's going on with Chris Davis and, fans being like, how do you handle all of that? And did you learn anything about yourself going through that maybe you've carried to, talking to younger guys about it? Like, did they reach out to you and say, hey, man, I we're thinking of Adley right now, right? Who clearly for the last year and a half has not been like he was the best player in baseball, arguably, for a little while. Like, do you maybe use any of that experience and what you learned about yourself to try to talk to guys about when they're going through things?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've always said, I think if you go through stuff like that and you really struggle for long periods of time and you don't open up about it and you don't talk about it, then you really went through it for nothing. And I think the biggest thing for me is it gives me an opportunity to connect with guys on a different level. Obviously, we all put a ton of pressure on ourselves. When you play at that level for that long, you expect yourself to perform. There's an immense amount of frustration when you can't figure it out, when you're when you're grinding through injury, you don't want to blame it on that, but at the same time, you know that you're not able to do things that you used to do. How did I handle it? I don't think I handled it particularly well early on. I think one of the things that I really learned was I have to open up to people around me, and I have to kind of voice my frustration, and it's okay to show that vulnerability. I remember doing a Sports Illustrated article towards the end of one of the seasons. I can't remember exactly what year it was. It might have been 18. And I was really reluctant to do it because I didn't want to open up. I didn't want people to know that I was frustrated, that I was upset, that it was really bothering me. And obviously my wife had a lot better advice than most people, but she said, I think you need to start, peeling back the layers. And I think you need to let people understand where you're at, because I think a lot of people really care about you, and a lot of people will share in that frustration with you. And I remember doing the article and talking about how it was just eating me alive emotionally, physically, mentally. It just was taking a toll on me. And I remember guys reaching out after that, and guys on other teams, guys in our organization, and talking about the same thing. Man, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you opened up, because I feel the same way. And I think a lot of players do. I think it's more commonplace now for guys to talk about that. But I always want to be a resource for the next wave of players. I want to do whatever I can to help those guys along their journey. And a lot of times that's talking about the hard stuff and how you handle those struggles.
Do you have guys that reach like try to get your number and text you and call you and say, hey, can I talk to you about this?
Yeah, I've talked to college guys.
Wow.
I coach high school guys. I talk to them. I've had some players reach out at the big league level, just here and there, and basically ask me, like, how did you handle this? What would you have done differently? What was going through your head? And I think it's good for guys to have somebody to talk to about that stuff, because it's baseball, man. Like, it doesn't matter if you're Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, or Adley Rutschman. At some point in time, you're gonna struggle, and it's how you handle that adversity that really shapes who you are as a player, and how long you stay in those slumps. And so if I can be any sort of a resource for a guy, I'm all for it.
That's cool, man. I really appreciate you having that perspective, and I have no idea. Like, I can only imagine what it means to those guys that you're talking to about it. There's been a theory for a long time, right? Like, if you had played in the era where the shift had been banned.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think that would have done for your? I mean, like, obviously you still put up prodigious numbers, but
yeah.
What would it have done for your career to be playing in an era with no shift?
I think it would have helped me a ton. I mean, obviously, I'll never forget the first time that I was really like, okay, this is gonna really impact me. We were playing Texas at home in Baltimore, and I hit a line drive over Mitch Moreland's head, and he jumped for it, and it got over his head. And I'm starting to round first base, and I hear the crowd go, oh. And as I'm starting to round first base, I see behind him Rougned Odor is standing there with a ball in his glove. And I'm like, dude, that's a line drive to shallow right
You
field.
did exactly what you were supposed to do, right? Like, exactly.
And I'm like, man, this is gonna like really not only impact me, but a lot of guys. In the conversations that I had with hitting coaches, guys that I worked with in off season with Buck, am I going to completely change who I am and who the team and the organization expects me to be, from a power hitter, from a run producer, to a guy that's going to be laying bunts down 3 times a game. And one of the things that really impacted my decision, one, I didn't want to give up who I was as a player, but 2, I wasn't particularly the fastest guy on the field, and having to lay a bunt down the third base line, you literally have to square your shoulders and go that way, and then turn a 180 and go the other direction. So there were a couple of times when I tried it early on when I just beat it out, and I remember other times where guys like Sonny Gray or Porcello made these like sliding plays, and I'm like, if I'm going to do this 3 or 4 times a game, I'm playing right into the opposition's hand. And I asked Pedroia, I asked Longoria, both of them, I said, what is your thought process in shifting me? Obviously, you're trying to get me to hit into the shift. You're trying to get me out. And both of them said the same thing. If you go 1 for 4 with a 3-run home run against us, it's more likely that y'all are going to win that game. if you go 4 for 4 with 4 infield bunt singles,
Yeah.
we like our chances. I wasn't a base stealer. I could score from first on a ball in the gap sometimes, depending on where we were playing. But they ultimately were saying, we'll give you first base. We just don't want you to hit the ball at the ballpark. And so for me, it would have been really interesting to see. Buck used to throw out some numbers. I think he was just trying to piss me off. This is what it would look like. These are your numbers, obviously hitting into the shift. This is what it would look like if they were playing straight up, and it was just a drastic change.
Thanks a lot, Buck. Thanks,
man. Thanks.
Right.
But I'm glad to see that they've gotten back to the more traditional style of the game. I don't know. Maybe the fans liked it. I would think the average baseball fan doesn't want to roll up and see 5 guys on the right side of the infield or left side of the infield. I think that they want to see the game played the way that the game's supposed to be played. So I was glad to see him get back to that and to kind of iron some of those things out. Wish they would have done it when I was playing, but it's better late than never, I guess.
I understand, and it's something we talked about a lot over the years. It's funny because I think originally I had this thought of, well, at some point kids are going to learn, it's going to be indoctrinated. You got to go to the opposite field. You got to, and it just never really seemed to happen. And so with that said, yeah, it is kind of goofy that you got 3 dudes all standing in the exact same place on the field. That clearly wasn't the intent of the way that the game was created. The idea was, created to, there's places where they ain't. Go hit it there, right? Like, that's the concept.
Yeah.
Are you at all worried that Pete Alonso might break the franchise home run record?
No, I hope he does. I mean, at some point, somebody's going to break it. And from what I know of Pete, just from the other side of the field and from the guys that he's played with, he's an incredible guy. I hope he does. I hope, because if he does, that means he's swinging the bat well, and that means that the Orioles are probably winning. So, I mean, I'm grateful and honored to have held it for as long as I have, and to hold it as long as I do. But at the end of the day, I mean, records are meant to be broken, and just being able to be the single season home run leader for a while, for me, it was a pretty cool thing.
What do you think he does, right? Like, it's a big deal. We're at opening day eve here in Baltimore, and there is an excitement that's palpable. And as I said yesterday, it's not that we don't think there are other good players on the team or the team. So much of it has to do with that guy's arrival. Like, it just feels so serious. What does somebody like that do for a baseball team? It's, obviously when you arrived, we didn't know exactly what it was going to be, but clearly the impact you made was overwhelming.
I think a lot of what he brings to the team is off the field. Obviously, he's a great player on the field, but I think one of the biggest things, especially for a younger team, and I know those guys are starting to get a little bit older and they've played together for a few years, but for the most part, they're still a pretty young team. And I think the biggest thing that Pete brings to that team is just a sense of identity and a sense of, hey, I've been here, I've done that, I've played winning baseball, played meaningful baseball in September and October. And I think that's going to be huge for those guys moving forward. We all know about the playoff woes of the past and making it to the postseason, but struggling to win in the postseason. I think he's going to help with just the approach to the postseason. And I think that's huge over the course of a season. I think guys that can really help create a chemistry, a clubhouse environment where guys feel like they're bonded and they're banded together. I think that it goes a long way, especially in the game of baseball, because the season's so stinking long. But when we talk about teams that are winning year in and year out, you look at those teams, they're close-knit teams. It's not a bunch of individuals. It's not a bunch of guys that are going their separate way. It's a group of guys that pull on the same rope in the same direction all together.
I love that, man. All right, what else is going on in your world these days?
Youth softball, volleyball, high school baseball.
It doesn't seem like a bad way to spend your time. That seems all right.
It's a good time, man. I love coaching my kids. I love watching my kids play, being around it. I've really enjoyed coaching high school baseball, man. I did not know if I had the patience to do it or if I was even going to have anything that these guys could use. But, man, I've enjoyed being around the game. I've enjoyed being a part of a team and being a part of the staff. And we've got a good group of guys. So yeah, man, that's kind of what I'm doing now.
Do you do anything as a coach that you're like, oh man, that's Buck? Like, I know that I got that from being around Buck.
No, Buck used to always joke with me. He's like, "You would be a great manager," and I'm like, "I'm not going to manage Major League Baseball. Like when I'm done here, I'm done, brother."
Yeah.
And he's like, but I think one of the things that Buck did for me was he just taught me to look at the game in a completely different way. And I think JJ Hardy was a big part of that too. Understanding that you can be a student of the game while you're playing and really pick up on things that can not only help you now, but will help you down the line. Both of those guys were a big part of that, so I give them a lot of credit.
Before I let you go, I should you did spend a little time with Mountcastle, right? Like when he was first caught up. He's a guy that's been going through it a little bit the last couple of years. I don't know. Have you had any conversations with him and where's your like confidence level that he still can be that kind of legitimate impact bat that we saw was a 35 home run type of guy?
I haven't talked to him in a while. The last time I talked to him, I was breaking in another one of my gloves for him that he was using. But I mean, Ryan's always been a good hitter, and I think that having a guy like Pete there to take a little bit of the pressure off of him, I think will be huge and beneficial for him. One of the things that's going to be a challenge for him is kind of understanding that role of not maybe being an everyday guy and trying to fill in and fit in where he can. I think it's a lot easier to do when you're younger. It's a lot tougher to do when you get older. But I have a ton of confidence in Ryan, man. The guy's always been able to do it.
Would you have been able to pitch at the end? Like at the end, if they had said, "Chris, we want to try it," would you have been able to like be confident as a major league reliever?
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if you remember after the Boston thing, it was I think it was Hyde's first season. We were getting thumped. I can't remember who Scope was with, and I can't even remember who we were playing, but he's like, "Hey, man, we're out of arms. I need you to pitch." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm freaking 34, 35 years old. Like this."
No way.
And I had a clean ERA up until that point. I had a 0 ERA.
Yeah, right. You don't want to ruin that. Yeah.
And I was like, "Fine, man. I'm a team guy. I'll do with the team." And freaking Scopey took me deep, man. And now I have a 3 ERA in my career.
Son of a God.
But,
God, man.
I don't think I would have been able to do it. My arm was kind of was gone by then.
Chris Davis, looking forward to celebrating you this summer. It's going to be an awesome weekend, and they do a great job, obviously, the Orioles, those events. Greatly appreciate you spending the time with us, man. Very happy that you're enjoying your time coaching and with the kids, brother. Thank you for doing this. Let's talk again soon, all right?
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
Chris Davis, Orioles legend, and yes, getting ready to go into the Orioles Hall of Fame this summer. Appreciate him taking the time for us, and we joke. It's funny because obviously everybody brings up Boston, right? Like my eternal is the opening day grand slam. Like it was that was the most electric opening day moment I've ever experienced and feel. And I don't know how many I've been to in my life. I don't count those things. Because I went, like I was there for the Jay Gibbons snow game, right? Like I was there. I've never felt anything like that on opening day. Like it was pandemonium. It was just the most electric thing I've ever for an opening day game. Like the opening day memories, we talk about it. Like obviously people talk about the first game in the stadium in '92, but nothing to me compares to that. Like I just so associate it with the concept of opening day. And that one's my favorite one. That one's my favorite of the Chris Davis collection.
That's 3 home run game. I feel like that one sticks out for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just you never see that. Like, well, at least with the Orioles.
Right, I get it.
Nowadays I guess you do. But with the Orioles, don't see it often ever.
No, there haven't been many. You're right. You're 100% right about that. And maybe if the pitching thing, it also happened in Boston, right? Now, we actually, Grant and I talked about it last week, ironically, but like I was in Kentucky. That was when I used to cover the Kentucky Derby every year and do my show from down there. It was the day after the Derby, and my wife and I were just like wandering around, doing stuff in Louisville that day because we were flying out on Monday. And I remember getting a text from someone about are you watching the game? They're about to let Chris Davis pitch. And I was like scrambling. I started like wherever we were in Louisville, I just started scrambling looking for a bar that might have the baseball package, right? Like this is what year? I mean, this
2013,
is,
I think. Because I remember I was playing. I had like a double. I was playing like a travel game. I had like a double header, and like the Orioles start like at the same time we did, and it was
right.
Like, and then our second game was over, and I was like, they're still playing.
Yeah. It was going on forever. Well, and I was scrambling. Like, there's got to be a place somewhere. We're in a fairly large city. Louisville's not that big, but like we're just ducking into anything that looks like a bar until we finally found. I think like the fourth one we found it. So I got to see it. But yeah, that.
Was this opening day for the Orioles, or this was because it was like the fourth?
No, it was not the opening day for the season.
Right.
It was
opening
Orioles
weekend.
opening
Okay,
day.
it was Orioles opening.
It was Orioles opening day. It was the home opener. I got nothing on my screen, so I don't know what's going on. So what you're saying is they can now hear us on the video.
Correct.
Welcome back.
Maybe not.
No?
Maybe not. Go ahead. Keep rating them.
This doesn't seem good. This doesn't seem ideal. Or were you trying to like get right back onto the same broadcast that we were doing earlier? You didn't start a new one? Is that what the bit was? Like you're trying to go to the same?
I would have to start it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there a way to jump on the? That'd be cool.
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I don't know anything about anything when it comes to technology. I just know we're not having a good technology.
It looks like we're on
day.
Facebook, not YouTube. So
what? Why would that be?
Do I look like Steve Jobs? I don't know. I wish I knew.
But
do you want to try to get on? Yeah, we're recording.
We're
so
recording.
We have video somewhere.
So we're going to be able to post it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the important part now, because everything else I can't figure out. By the way, tomorrow it might be all live to tape. We're going to find out when we get there. We're just calling it a straight shoot.
And I guess I'll keep testing afterwards too. I mean, I felt like I was in a good spot until this moment.
We're going to be at Quigley's tomorrow. We're looking forward to it. There are technology limitations at Quigley's Half Irish Pub. And we want to be there anyway. These are limitations we didn't know about until a few days ago. But we were like, look, we want to be there. We want to be part of it. We want to have the feel. It's opening day. We're all fired up. We're doing the polar bear thing. You're going to dress up like a polar bear, and you're going to win. Maybe you're going to be the grand prize winner that gets $250 in cash and another $100 in food and beverage credit from Live Casino and Hotel. We want to be there. But we also have to be practical about we don't know what the technology limit. So we're going to attempt to do a full live show from Quigley's. But if we realize that's difficult, then what we're going to pivot to is a podcast that we will record and we will share as soon as we finish recording it. And you'll still have it. And so we'll still be doing a show. It just won't be a live show. But that's not our hope. We believe in honesty and transparency, and that's what we got for you. We hope we're doing a live show for you from Quigley's tomorrow. And if not, then there will be a show that will have been live. I mean, when it happened, it was live. It's just not going to be live at that moment. It's going to be one of those weird bits where you might be like watching me on the show, but then hearing me on another radio station. Just could end up being the case as the day goes on. Yeah, I got nothing.
Do you want to watch that Grand Slam we were trying to talk about?
I think the moment has passed.
I don't think it has.
I think we've done a lot of moment has passed. We can maybe celebrate our favorite opening day memories tomorrow, Griffin. Maybe that'll be part of it until technology doesn't work tomorrow, in which case then we'll, I don't know, I'll prepare. Maybe we prepare a dance number or something for tomorrow's show. I don't know what we do.
I'm not a great dancer.
Maybe tomorrow's the day for you.
No. Maybe.
Tidbit. Here's what we're going to do. We'll do Tidbit, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll do Tubular. Tidbit. Now our hats are falling off. What is going on around here?
Not a good sign for the Whip Snakes.
This is not good. I see they re-signed my guy Adam Patra. I am excited about that. Love that news. Tidbit is brought to you today by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. Stan, Ross, and Luke every Monday talking baseball with you. Stan the Fan, Charles, Ross Grimsley, Luke Jackson. Facebook.com/PressBoxSports. If you miss it live, YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline or PressBoxOnline.com/video. And as always, Stan's show is brought to you by the Costas Inn.
Well, you asked it earlier in the show. You probably shouldn't have been asking American League single-season hits leader because everyone knows that Ichiro, he has the overall record.
That's what Drew said.
Yeah, Drew knows sports. Mm-hmm. National League.
Oh, sure.
Who's got the National League single-season hits record?
Pete Rose.
No.
Tony Gwynn.
No. Pete Rose had 230, good for 17th in the National League all time. Gwynn somewhere less than that.
Those are my two.
You're not going to get it. It's the two guys tied for 254 hits.
Oh,
in a single.
It's quite
season.
a number of hits.
Yeah, back-to-back years actually. 1929 Philadelphia Philly, and then 1930 New
Mickey
York Giants.
Cochran.
No, not Mickey Cochran.
Ed,
He
the
wasn't
old galvanizer Johnston.
He wasn't a righty.
He was lefty.
And so that was
know
his
who
name,
was it.
Lefty.
Oh, that was his name. Lefty.
I
I don't think it's Lefty Grove.
He must have been Irish.
I think he was a pitcher. He must have been Mick Houlihan.
No, not Mick.
Houlihan.
Yeah, Lefty O.
Connell.
No, Lefty O'Doul.
Lefty O'Doul. They named a beer after him.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know if it was named after him or not.
And then in 1930, this New York Giant also had 254 hits.
Sure, I believe you.
It was Bill Terry.
Oh, it was Bill Terry.
Yeah. All right,
Sure
all right. You want to do most home runs in Orioles history? Then there's 6 guys that have done it. Sorry, 5 guys that have hit more than 45 home runs
in a single season.
In a single Orioles season.
I feel like, didn't we do this at some point? Not that
I'm sure we
long
did,
ago?
but we had Chris Davis on today.
I know.
And then you better go 5 for 5, I guess.
And I'm wondering if we did it with Grant.
Oh, really? Like you literally did it last week?
I don't know. I legitimately don't remember.
I mean, I'm sure we have.
I feel like we've done
Anthony
it.
Santander hit.
I definitely remember bringing up Anthony Santander. We did it
under.
with Grant. We did it with Grant.
We did. Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, you better go 5 for 5, or we can.
It was Davis,
move on.
Brady, Santander, Palmeiro.
No, Santander is 7th.
Well, I'm not in order. Oh, he wasn't in the top 6.
He was not in the top 6.
Palmeiro.
Well, Davis hit over 45.
Maybe
twice.
we did the top 10, and that's why
okay.
Because I figured out what the cutoff was. It was like basically everybody 40 and over.
There were 9 times 8 guys that have hit 40 or more.
Oh, and I didn't think of Mark Trumbo when we did it. Yeah, we definitely did it with Grant last week because I didn't think of Mark Trumbo. He had to tell me Mark Trumbo because, in fact, when he said Mark, I said Reynolds, really? And he was like, no, Trumbo. And I'm like, oh yeah, we definitely did it with Grant last week. Frank Robinson was on the list.
Yeah, Frank Robinson's on the list. All right, well then I guess reused tidbit. Sorry.
And was it
Sorry,
was it Diamond Jim Gentile?
Yes, Jim Gentile, 46.
And
5th most.
And
6th most, 5th most by a guy.
What?
Well, because Davis hit 47 and 43 or 53.
Oh, you're saying different.
Yeah.
All right. Did I get them all?
I guess he did. Who hit 40? One guy hit exactly 40. I don't think you said his name.
Oh, it was Cruz.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, then, I guess well done.
All right. That was exhilarating. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll get tubular next. Glenn Clark Radio.
March Mania is on at Live Casino. And you can get a front row seat for all the action at Sports and Social. Raise your game with massive wall-to-wall TVs. And raise a cheer with your favorite beers, cocktails, and an all-star menu. Best of all, you could win huge prizes every game. Don't get benched. Book your table at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnkin. If you've been injured in a car or truck crash, you probably know this is stressful. Medical bills, the insurance company giving you the runaround, you got to get your car fixed. You don't just need a lawyer, you need results. At Warnkin LLC, we represent the injured across Maryland. Whether it's a car or truck crash case, medical malpractice, or any other serious personal injury, we fight for maximum compensation for you and maximum ease for you. You don't want to have to deal with this stuff. Warnkin LLC has been voted best personal injury law firm in Maryland for a reason. For us, 443 Results isn't just a phone number, it's our mission. Get the advocate that you need. Call us today, 443 Results, or visit us online, warnkinlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR, and glad we had this workout because we now have the Orioles opening day roster. They have gone ahead and announced it today. And as far as final decisions were concerned, Gunnar made it.
Yes.
So
that's good for my MVP bet.
That's a good point. Jeremiah Jackson, there had been like a little bit of debate about oh God, why am I blanking
Ramos.
on
Brian
Well,
Ramos.
yeah, but we knew that yesterday. Who's the other utility infielder?
Estrada? No.
Yeah, I mean they've been a little bit, but that's not who I'm thinking of. Who's the other? God,
the spring training. Who cares?
Damn it. Hang on a second.
Well, hold on. I'm sure somebody
Just
will
hang on one
have
goddamn second.
Why are you mad at me? Let's see. Suarez not on the roster.
No, I'm aware.
No. Well, I'm just trying to I'm trying to come up with notable guys that didn't make it.
Thank you. Spring training. Now I'm going back to.
So Anthony Nunez makes the
Yeah,
roster,
Anthony
though.
Nunez and Yarmiel Geraldo appear to get the final two bullpen spots, which is certainly noteworthy. Nunez, very much off the radar.
Do we want to give points to anyone tomorrow if they dress up as a wolf?
For Grant Wolfram?
Or a beaver for...
Don't make it any more confusing. Do not add any layer
next time,
to
next
it.
time.
No, we are not worried about that. This is what we're doing. That's the thing that we're doing. Don't worry about anything else. I wonder, was it Weston Wilson? Is that who I was thinking of?
Maybe. I don't remember.
He played a good bit of third base.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't remember him being really all that close to
I feel like there was one other infielder that there was conversation about.
I
just
feel like
don't
you might be
remember who
right.
It was,
but I think it was Ramos.
No, there was definitely some conversation about Ramos when they acquired him, but I feel like there had been talk about somebody who had some a little bit more versatility and can play a few more positions. But whatever, that's irrelevant. Jeremiah Jackson is that guy. I sound like Mike Francesa. I think it was Embiid. That's probably who it was. Jeremiah Jackson ends up getting that role, and as expected, Leota Taveras will be the I'm going to say utility outfielder. He'll kind of be the extra outfielder, and Dylan Beavers, I guess they're good. He's healthy. He's
Just
on
two catchers?
the
I
opening
don't
day
know. I
roster.
guess
That
there
was
wasn't really a third
was kind
catcher.
of Sam Huff was.
Yeah.
There was a thought that if there was going to be a third catcher, it was going to be Sam Huff, but there was always a question, and it seemed like in the last
He
couple
just
weeks.
wasn't busting down the door or anything. Like it's.
I think it was less about him and just more about we don't need to use another spot on a catch. As we talked about, it's so the circumstance by which you need a third catcher is rare. The circumstance is you've got your backup catcher DHing, and your starting catcher gets hurt in the second inning. And now, because you've got to move your other catcher back behind the plate, you don't
want to lose the DH.
You're going to lose the DH, and you're going to obviously pinch hit for the DH. I mean, you might have to have your pitcher in that scenario hit like once, twice at most to keep him in the game. But then later on in the game, you're obviously going to pinch hit for your pitcher. Do you run out of pinch hitters at some point? And with games not going 17 innings anymore, it's just less likely that that's going to happen. Might it happen once this year where you have to see an Orioles pitcher hit? Yeah, it's possible that's going to occur.
Yeah. Trevor Rogers got how many at-bats last year?
Right. That's a good point. That maybe that's going to happen at some point. But it's just so rare that is it worth using a roster spot for that possibility? I understand why the Orioles said no, it's not worth using that. But yeah, that's I think the big shocker is Suarez, right?
No Big Al.
But apparently, at least according to Andy Koska, he's going to start in the minors. So despite the fact that he had an opt-out, apparently he chose to accept a minor league assignment, and so he'll still be in the mix as well. But you would have thought he would have been your primary long man.
Keegan Aiken's also, so presumably IL.
Keegan Aiken almost certainly is on IL. So now who's your long man in this group, I think becomes the next question. Is that Yarmiel Geraldo?
Luis Vasquez is who you're thinking.
That's who I was thinking of. Thank you.
Jake Rill tweeted it. Thanks, Jake
God
Rill.
Damn, man.
You know what's really funny? He was reassigned.
I looked at the
as
spring
reporter,
training stats, and I saw Willie Vasquez. I'm like, that's not a thing. Luis Vasquez was definitely who I was thinking of. Thank you for bailing me out. Greatly appreciate you being there for me, pal.
Yeah,
when
you're
I
welcome.
was struggling.
Yeah. Well, I got
10 minutes later.
No, I got it.
It turns out you're not an idiot. I mean, I guess Tyler Wells could just be the long man. Like, that's just the reality because they want to keep him stretched out. I just think that a lot of us would prefer that he be used in a bit more leveraged spots, so we don't love that idea, but that could be your long man with Suarez going down. And I guess they could also say, well, hell, we don't really need a defined long man because if that situation comes up, we can get through for a day, and then we could always go to Suarez to make up for that the next day, and Dean Kramer also was obviously available soon. So that's what that is. All right, there's your roster. Now,
Holiday, Kerstad, Westberg, Aiken, and Kittredge all to the IL officially.
Right. All right. How about we get Tubular?
Colin Selby also to the IL.
Thank you.
And
I
Felix
was very
Bautista.
concerned about
And Felix
Colin Selby.
Bautista.
I really thought he had a shot. Can we get Tubular?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we do?
Yeah.
Let's be on top of our game around here.
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to. Remember.
Yes. No.
Nope.
Nope. We can't get Tubular. You're telling us. Well, all right then.
All right. It's a tight. Who's any other infielders that you were trying to think of, or?
Oh. I don't blame Griffin for this one.
Well, you shouldn't.
I might end up blaming Griffin for it, but I don't at first blame Griffin for it. This is the eternal, you have to update software because they make you update software. Like they force you to. If you don't, then you're going to have problems. But whenever we update the software, immediately things go wrong. What worked yesterday does not work today. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And that wouldn't be that big of a deal, except for, like, we don't have a staff of 30 people to figure this stuff out. We can't just be like, hey, Joe, like go to the engineers room and pull the engineers out. We've just got to do it while we're also doing the show. You think it's going to work now?
I'd like to think
I would just start it, is what I would do, and then I'll shut up. Yep.
All right, let's see here.
We love Cruise Maryland. We love them. And we're going to tell you all about Cruise Maryland, and you should cruise out of Maryland, and they're the best, and we'll figure that out tomorrow. That's the way it'll go, all right? And Tubular is brought to you today by countysports.zone. Oh, you think you got it now?
Maybe. Let's find out.
Was this maybe on you?
No.
No? Nope, still don't have it. Tubular is brought to you by countysports.zone. Proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. Everything you need to know about high school sports in the state of Maryland, you can find at countysports.zone. Not much. Baseball does officially get underway tonight. First game of the season.
That's significant. Right?
It involves the Yankees, so F them.
Yeah,
like that's.
We get a Netflix broadcast. Seems.
Don't care about that. The Usos are going to be a part of it because they're taking things very seriously.
Well, duh.
That's tonight at 8:05.
Does that not add immediate credibility to anything?
Yankees Giants on Netflix tonight to open up the season. A couple of women's lacrosse teams in action. Loyola's an American. Navy hosts Lehigh, the 1 and 6 o'clock respectively. Mount St. Mary's at Iona in lacrosse at 1 o'clock. All that on ESPN+. Everything else you can find at GlennClarkRadio.com. Anything non-sports-wise that matters?
What was your favorite part of season 1?
Of
there's the finales tonight, so I thought you had Fear Factor House of Fear.
Is that Johnny Knoxville did that?
Yeah, that's that one.
I love Johnny Knoxville, but there was no chance I was going to watch
Scrubs, Abbott, Survivor, big one.
Two of those I'll definitely end up watching.
Survivor and Scrubs, I guess.
No.
Anaconda streaming now on Netflix.
Why is that on this list?
What do you mean? Why is that? Because there's nothing big. I don't know.
Oh wait. Oh, you mean the Jack Black movie?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like the original Anaconda
it's
film.
Paul Rudd movie.
Thank you. I thought you were talking about the original Anaconda. I'm like, why would that be? Then I forgot.
That one might be, maybe that is what they meant. I guess I didn't double check this. Yeah.
Right.
Primate is also streaming on Paramount Plus.
Which one is Primate?
That came out in January. It was like the horror movie with the monkey that.
I don't remember that.
That I think goes nuts. I don't know. I didn't see it. Maybe I will now.
Jeremy was going on about how they had gone to see Project Hail Mary. I'm like, everybody says it's amazing, and he was like,
No.
No.
Come on, Jeremy.
All right.
Be good.
Thanks today to Drew Forrester. Thanks to Chris Davis. We will get that up in the greatest hits section of the.
Fallon's going to have Ariana DeBose and or DeBose.
DeBose, I believe.
Yeah, DeBose. And BTS.
Tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Tomorrow, Quigley's. Get there starting at 9. We'll be doing either a live or live-to-tape broadcast. Mike Bordick's swinging by.
Ooh.
Keith Mills is swinging by.
Whoa.
We'll also be recording an interview with Alucci Okanawa that we will air at some point during that. She, of course, was involved in that viral moment with Brenda Fries on Sunday. So we will be airing that at some point during the show tomorrow because we're off on Friday. So that's when we can do it. It's just the way these things work. Thanks to everybody. But we want to see you and dress up like a polar bear and get at least a Crabs Beer Game Day T-shirt. If not, you could be the grand prize winner of $250 in cash and another $100 in food and beverage credit from Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Live Casino and Hotel, the Costas Inn, your Baltimore area High's Dairy Stores, Leading Edge Auto Body, Warnkin Law, 1-800-GAMBLER, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Quigley's, Cruise Maryland, CountySports.zone, your local Toyota dealer, BuyAToyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Wednesday evening. Go Loyola Navy Women's Lacrosse. Duke sucks.